universally to all workers. So that is one of the major things we are working towards, and as you know, it's all discussed in the parliament. It is getting, work is done in the parliament, it is happening there, but I'm giving you some of the highlights. Second is also the regional disparity in minimum wage which exists. We are trying to get over that problem, to get over the disparity which prevails by saying if there can be a national floor wage concept which can be accepted by all the states, so that the disparity which prevails between states of minimum wages can be gotten over. We are also talking about compulsorily giving appointment letters for everybody who is taken in, so that it gets formal, and also making sure annual health checkup is made mandatory for all the employees. Benefits also for workers in the interstate migration of workers, so that nowadays we come to know that workers don't get recruited through an agency or a group, which are normally the groups which bring in unskilled workers. Now employers are directly taking them on, and therefore for that also, coming from various destinations, we want to have a definition of interstate migrant workers. Again, on migrant workers, this will help in defining them better and reaching out benefits to them better. All this is in the parliament. I'm not saying it as a part of this package, but I'm only giving you a clear picture that we are committed towards improving the lot of the workers and making sure that migrant workers and other workers are treated a lot more with their formal benefits reaching them. Portability of welfare benefits is also being contemplated in the parliament for migrant workers. Again, looking at pan-India to all districts, we want to extend the ESIC benefits to all establishments which employ at least 10 people or more, and in some of the notified districts. Looking at also employees, establishment which have less than 10 employees, we want to, at least in a voluntary basis, make sure ESIC can be extended to them. On a voluntary basis, because they're very small, we don't want to burden them with anything. The other thing that we're looking at is to make it mandatory to have ESIC coverage through notification by the central government for employees who are working in hazardous industries. Because even if they are small and they don't get included, through a central notification, we want to make sure ESIC coverage is given to all those who are working in smaller units but which are engaging in hazardous activities. They get the benefit of ESIC coverage. And social security schemes are being extended even to gig workers and platform workers. That is now urban phenomena, and they should get that coverage. So we want to bring gig workers into it. We're also looking at reskilling of retrenched workers. Now in the context of COVID, this was all designed before, but in the context of COVID, we probably will have a situation where a lot of retrenched workers will need to have a reskilling exercise. And again, all occupations should be opened for women with night working rights, and also there making sure safeguards are provided for all of them. Provision also for social security funds for unorganized workers, and gratuity to be given for fixed term employment. So these are some of the things which are our commitment, which is revealed in the labor codes. 44 labor different acts have all been now compressed with extensive discussions and consultation. I must appreciate the Ministry of Labour, the Minister, Senior Minister Gangwarji, together with the Secretary, have engaged with all strata, all stakeholders, all strata of workers, to make sure that their concerns are addressed, and therefore the possibility of having those 44 laws being reduced to 4 codes. Highlights I've given you are waiting in the Parliament. Our commitment lies in having them passed after discussing in all the standing committees.
लेबर कोड के माध्यम से हम लोग जहां मजदूरों को लाभ देने जा रहे हैं, अगर आप देखेंगे तो देश में जो न्यूनतम वेतन है वो लगभग 30% वर्कर्स ही उसका लाभ उठा पाते हैं। समय पर उनका वेतन का भुगतान नहीं हो पाता, अनऑर्गेनाइज जो असंगठित क्षेत्र है उसमें ये दिक्कत है। और इसीलिए यूनिवर्सलाइजेशन की जो बात कही गई है कि न्यूनतम वेतन की यूनिवर्सलाइजेशन की जाएगी, पूरे देश भर में एक जैसा उसका हो, कम से कम एक न्यूनतम वेतन गरीब से गरीब मजदूर को मिले, इसके लिए इस कदम को उठाया गया है। और जो क्षेत्रीय असमानता है, जो रीजनल डिस्पैरिटी है न्यूनतम वेतन में, उसको भी इसके माध्यम से दूर किया जाएगा, वैधानिक रूप इसको दिया जाएगा और नेशनल फ्लोर वेज इसमें इंट्रोड्यूस की जाएगी। यही नहीं, जो इसको तय करने के तरीके हैं मिनिमम वेजेस, उसको और सरलीकरण इसका किया जाएगा ताकि इसमें कंप्लायंस ज़्यादा हो और रुकावटें कम हो। नियुक्ति पत्र भी सभी मजदूरों को मिलेंगे और यही नहीं, साल में एक बार स्वास्थ्य का चेकअप भी होगा, हेल्थ चेकअप भी इनका होगा। और जो खतरनाक क्षेत्र में काम करने वाले, जहां खतरा रहता है, ऐसे क्षेत्रों में काम करने वाले जिनके काम करते हैं मजदूर, उनके लिए ऑक्यूपेशनल सेफ्टी एंड हेल्थ कोड भी लाया जाएगा जो उनकी सुरक्षा और स्वास्थ्य का ख्याल रखेंगे। यही नहीं, पोर्टेबिलिटी जो है वेलफेयर बेनिफिट्स की, ये भी सभी प्रवासी मजदूरों को मिलेगी। और ईएसआईसी का लाभ भी, इसका भी पैन इंडिया पूरे देश भर में इसकी कवरेज सभी जिलों में हमारे मजदूरों को मिल पाएगी। चाहे वो एस्टैब्लिशमेंट जो संस्थान है वो 10 से ज़्यादा वाला है, उतने तक का है। और इसके अलावा मैंडेटरी ईएसआईसी कवरेज भी नोटिफिकेशन से माध्यम से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने सभी एम्प्लॉयज़ को जो ऐसे खतरनाक क्षेत्रों में काम करने वाले उनके लिए होगी। सोशल सिक्योरिटी स्कीम भी गिग वर्कर्स के लिए और प्लेटफॉर्म वर्कर्स के लिए मिलेगी। रीस्किलिंग करनी बहुत ज़रूरी हो गई है क्योंकि जो लोग वापस गए हैं काम करने के लिए, उनको वापस उनको स्किल प्रदान करके वहाँ पर उनका कैसे लाभ मिल सके, रोजगार मिल सके, इस दिशा में भी काम किए जाएंगे। और सोशल सिक्योरिटी फंड का भी असंगठित क्षेत्र के लिए प्रावधान करने का हम प्रयास करेंगे, प्रोविजन किया जाएगा। और जो महिलाओं के लिए कामकाज के क्षेत्र खुले हैं, उसमें रात्रि के समय अगर काम करना पड़ता है, ड्यूटी करनी पड़ती है, तो उसमें सेफगार्ड्स अलग अलग तरह के लाए जाएंगे।
Quickly of yesterday's, we've spoken about 3 lakh crore emergency working capital facility. We have also spoken about no global tenders for 200 crore, up to 200 crore for Indian small companies also to bid for those and so on. So yesterday's announcement, I thought I'll very quickly give you. I will be providing this one slide. I'm spending not very much of a time on that. I'll move over to talking about one thing there. If you can please go back to the previous slide. One thing there on the tax deduction at source and tax collected at source, where we've reduced the rate by 25%. I will, after the presentation, have Revenue Secretary give you a clear explanation of who it includes and who it doesn't. So the TDS and TCS explanation, you have the Finance Secretary next to me who is also the Revenue Secretary who will be able to explain it. But otherwise that slide will be given to you. So instead of going too much into detail, I just want to highlight the fact the EPF support of paying 24%, the 12% of employer, 12% of the employee is borne by the Government of India. 24% is being borne by the Government of India for the past 3 months, and we have extended that for the next 3 months also. June, July, August is also getting added. This is something which I did mention yesterday. And similarly for others, it has been reduced from 12 to 10% for the employer and the employee. However, the employee will get the 10% for the private, for the government-related public sector undertakings, where the government pays the 12 plus 12.
पिछले कल जो सूक्ष्म लघु और मध्यम उद्योग के लिए घोषणा की गई थी, उसका बड़ा कारण ये भी है, और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपने 12 तारीख के भाषण में कहा भी था कि हमारे लघु मंझोले उद्योग जो हैं, ये जो हमारे एमएसएमई हैं, ये करोड़ों लोगों की आजीविका का साधन है। जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए हमारे संकल्प का मजबूत आधार है। और इसीलिए पिछले कल लाखों करोड़ रुपए का जो बेनिफिट दिए गए, या मैं कहूँगा सहयोग दिया गया। इन लोगों ने कभी मदद नहीं मांगी, सहयोग मांगा, और सहयोग देने का काम कल भारत सरकार ने मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में किया है एमएसएमई सेक्टर के लिए। और उसमें ही एक बड़ा सहयोग था। मार्च, अप्रैल, मई महीने में एम्प्लॉय प्रोविडेंट फंड 12% एम्प्लॉय और एम्प्लॉयर का हिस्सा भारत सरकार दे रही है, और अब इसको अगले 3 महीने जून, जुलाई, अगस्त तक और बढ़ा दिया गया है। इसके अलावा जो 12% दोनों को देना पड़ता था काम देने वाले को, अब उसको 10% कर दिया गया है। लेकिन जो भारत सरकार के सेंट्रल पीएससीज हैं वो अपना 12% ही देंगे।
I go over to today's announcements. I said there are three steps that we want to explain about the migrants. The first thing relates to free food grain. Free food grain supply to all migrants for the next 2 months. How is this? You are aware, we had already announced that for the public distribution system based, card based people who get their regular quota of rice or wheat and in their residences, we had added free 5 kgs for them, either of rice or wheat, and also said 5 kgs per individual, but per card 1 kg of pulse was announced earlier, and that additional 5 per month kg of wheat or rice was being given free. That was made clear. Now what we are saying is that continues, that remains intact. But for those who are non-card holders, meaning they are neither under the National Food Security Act, nor are they holders of any state level cards, for them they shall be given 5 kgs per person of wheat or rice, or 1 kg of chana, so that is for per family. And if the person is remaining without card, he can also get it. We are engaging with the state governments to make sure that they know where these migrants are, they can approach them and give them, because most of these migrants who have no cards are staying in those camps which are being run either by the government or by the NGOs, and therefore, based on a rough assessment which has been given to us by all the state governments, we think there are about 8 crore migrants for whom benefit will reach through this free food grain supply. The central government will take the cost and they will not be charged. 3,500 crores will be spent on this intervention within the next 2 months. So I know migrants are also moving out, either they are going back, very few are coming back. Irrespective, we are saying for the next 2 months they shall get free rice or wheat, and also 1 kg per card per family. Without card also you can get your rice, wheat or wheat or chana. So this will reach through the state governments. State governments will be implementing agencies. They will identify the migrants. They will take care of the full distribution, and they will provide the details. The initial assessment is what I've told you. The numbers may change depending on how the state governments are going to. We made provision for this many. That's exactly what I want to convey.
प्रवासी मजदूर जो भारत और मैं कहूँगा राष्ट्र निर्माण में लगे हैं, उनके लिए राशन की सुविधा उपलब्ध करवाने के लिए ऐसे 8 करोड़ प्रवासी मजदूरों के लिए 3500 करोड़ रुपए का प्रावधान मोदी सरकार करवाने जा रही है। जो नेशनल फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट में नहीं आते, या जिनको राज्यों का राशन कार्ड नहीं मिल पाता, या उसकी बेनिफिशियरीज लिस्ट में नहीं है, वो भी इससे वंचित ना रह जाएं। ऐसे 8 करोड़ प्रवासी ये 3500 करोड़ रुपए का प्रावधान, यानी कि उनको 5-5 किलो गेहूं या चावल मिलेंगे, और साथ में 1 किलो चना, प्रति फैमिली 1 किलो चना और प्रति व्यक्ति 5 किलो गेहूं और चावल भी अगले 2 महीनों तक मिलते रहेंगे। इसके लिए मोदी सरकार 3500 करोड़ रुपए का प्रावधान कर रही है। इसको लागू करने की जिम्मेदारी राज्य सरकारों की है।
The next point is, I go back to referring to the Prime Minister's address to the nation, where he said 5 pillars, and one of them is talking about technology-driven systems. This is one classic example for that, where in order to benefit migrant workers, we are coming up with a national portability of the cards, which is public distribution ration cards can be used in any ration card, any ration shop in any part of the country as you move along. So if there is a ration card holder, today he is in Bihar or Karnataka, tomorrow he moves to Rajasthan, he can get his food ration from any ration shop. So national portability, which is now being defined as one nation, one ration card, and one ration will be implemented, and by August 20, which is another 3 months, within 67 crore beneficiaries in 23 states, which 67 crore beneficiaries, 83% of all the PDS population about. 83% of all the PDS get covered by this one nation card, and we assure 100% coverage of national portability these cards 2021. 83% is already done. So all states and union territories will complete full FPS automatically by March 2021.
अगर देखा जाए तो जो प्रवासी मजदूर था उसको सबसे, लेकिन टेक्नोलॉजी से आने वाले समय में उनको कभी 19 जैसी स्थिति ना आए, लेकिन अगर स्थिति ना भी आए, वैसे भी चले, तब भी वो देश के किसी कोने में हो, वो कहीं पर भी अपने राशन कार्ड का इस्तेमाल कर सकें। वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड ये आने वाले हैं, और इसके माध्यम से आप देश के किसी कोने में भी किसी भी की दुकान से अपना राशन ले सकते हैं, जिसको राशन डिपो भी कहते हैं, ताकि राशन वितरण प्रणाली से आपके हिस्से का आप उसको ले पाएं। और इसका तो आज तक टेक्नोलॉजी के उपयोग से, चाहे वो जनधन खाते हो, नंबर हो, मोबाइल हो, इसके माध्यम से पारदर्शिता मोदी सरकार लाखों करोड़ पिछले कुछ वर्ष भी है, और वापस गरीबों के उत्थान के लिए, तो इससे भी जहां गरीब को लाभ मिलेगा देश के किसी कोने के लिए। वहीं पर देखा जाए तो 23 राज्यों में 67 करोड़ बेनिफिशियरी जो हैं, वो 83% की पॉपुलेशन वो अब तक इस पे कवर हो चुकी है, और मार्च 2021 तक हम 100% कवर कर लेंगे नेशनल पोर्टेबिलिटी में, ताकि वो देश के भी अपने राशन कार्ड, ये क्रांतिकारी कदम प्रवासी मजदूर कि वो देश के किसी भी कोने में जाकर अपने हक का किसी भी राशन डिपो से ले सकता है, ऐसा उसके लिए सुविधा होगी।
Step for the migrant workers. We spoke about the food, the ration, portability of their ration. Now I'm talking about affordable accommodation for the migrant workers and poor. Government has launched, and very quickly it shall launch under the PM Awas for the migrant labor and urban poor, particular scheme of affordable rental housing scheme, whereby we have 3 different ways in which we want. We are asking incentive manufacturing units, industries, institutions to, on their private land, build and develop rental housing complex. And we are also converting a lot of housings in major cities which are remaining vacant into rental housing accommodation. They can become affordable complexes, be done on a people through concessionaire agreements, which they can invest somewhat some money to keep it up, and also somewhat some money to make it ready, and the rental, like the way the roads have, the toll amount of rent, make some arrangement. Incentivizing also to do. Central organizations will also undertake in similar lines. The detailed guidelines will come from the ministry sooner. So urban migrants, urban poor now look forward to having at least some rental accommodation for themselves.
प्रवासी मजदूर जहां वो काम करते हैं शहर, वहां पर कम कीमत पर उनको किराए मकान मिल पाए, रहने की सुविधा मिल पाए, का संकल्प लेकर मोदी जी आए हैं। और मेरा मानना है कि जिस तरह से हर घर को बिजली, हर गांव तक बिजली पहुंचाने का काम, हर व्यक्ति का बैंक खाता खोलने का काम, बहन को गैस सिलेंडर देने का काम, 2022 तक सर ढकने के लिए छत देने मोदी सरकार है, उसी तरह से एक बहुत कम कीमत वाले किराए वाले ऐसे घर आने वाले समय में मिलेंगे। प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के अंतर्गत हमारे अब के बने हुए घरों को भी उसमें इंक्लूड कर सकते, अभी बने और कुछ जगह खाली होंगे। उद्योग पर बनाना चाहें तो उनको भी इंसेंटिवाइज कि वो भी अपने काम करने वाली अपनी फैक्ट्री व्यवस्था बनाए, या राज्य की एजेंसियों को हम लोग प्रेरित करेंगे, लाभ देंगे, अपने राज्य काम करने वाले ऐसे मजदूरों के लिए सुविधा देते हैं।
I move over to the issue loans of Mudra. This is a way to help the smallest credit takers from the banks, where after the RBI moratorium, when they have to pay the EMI, they will have a little problem and support them with some interest subvention. Incentive based, pay in time promptly, you get the incentive, interest subvention. Portfolio of Mudra Sishu loans, you know, different types of loans. The Sishu up to 50,000 is what they only rupees or less. They have loans 50,000 or lesser. After the 3-month moratorium, when paying the EMIs, will have for the next 12 months an interest subvention support which will be of 2%, and that support will entail a total relief of 1,500 crores for all the Sishu loan holders. Now I just want to give you a broad indication of number. I don't for me to straight away tell you the number, but I can indicate because up to 50, some people will have, might have 15,000, 20. So actual number is, I might need a little more. Roughly, if this outstanding is 1.62 crores, if the outstanding, total outstanding issue loans under category is 1.2 lakh crores, and on the assumption that all of them have taken 50,000 limit, it will be like 3 crore people. And if this 3 crore is a conservative estimate, more than that, it will benefit, this 2% pension will benefit about 3 crore people who are beneficiaries of Mudra Sishu. Talking of all the 3 categories, only the Sishu category means 50,000 or less loans.
जो मुद्रा शिशु ऋण श्रेणी में लोग आते हैं, उनके लिए 1500 राहत देने की योजना लाई है ताकि गरीब से लाभ मिल सके। 62,000 करोड़ रुपए इस शिशु लोन के अंतर्गत दिया है। के माध्यम से लगभग 3 करोड़ ऐसे लोगों को लाभ है और ये 1500 करोड़ होगा मोदी वाले हैं उनको 15 लाभ इस योजना के माध्यम से मोदी सरकार कि उनके ब्याज में 2% की नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार वहन करेगी और उसका खर्चा उठाएगी और गरीब को राहत देगी.
The next step is towards street vendors, for whom we are giving a special credit facility for about 4 crores of rupees. This is going to be because most of their livelihood is adversely affected. Street vendors have not been allowed to do anything during the lockdown. Therefore, within a month, the launched scheme to facilitate easy access to credit for the street vendors. The street vendors, there are 50 lakh vendors as per one estimation which comes from 50 lakhs with 1 crore credit facility through which once the lockdown is lifted they can start their business, they can buy and so on. So 50 lakh street vendors we are giving an initial working capital of up to rupees and liquidity provision 5,000 crores made by the government.
तो जहां एक और श्रमिक और साथ साथ रेडी लगाने वाले, सामान बेचने वाले जो हमारे श्रमिक साथी हैं, जो घरों में काम करने वाले भाई, जो ठेला लगाने वाले हैं, कोविड-19 के समय 2 महीनों में बड़ी तकलीफ का सामना करना पड़ा और ज्यादा त्याग भी इसके लिए किया है. और ये 5,000 करोड़ रुपए की विशेष सुविधा केवल इनके लिए, रेहड़ी ठेला लगाने वाले, पटरी पर सामान बेचने वाले श्रमिक साथी इनके लिए लेकर आए हैं. ये 10,000 की इनको प्रति व्यक्ति सुविधा मिल सकती है, क्योंकि किसी को चाय बेचनी है, सब्जी बेचनी है, कुछ और बेचना है तो 2,000 10,000 तक वो अपना सामान लेने की उसको सुविधा मिल सकती है. और ये 1 महीने के अंदर सरकार इसको लॉन्च कर देगी. और जो मोबाइल से पेमेंट करेगा, डिजिटल पेमेंट करेगा, उसको इसके ऊपर इनाम भी मिलेंगे. और यही नहीं, डिजिटल पेमेंट्स का एक लाभ उनको और मिलेगा कि उनको आने वाले समय में 10,000 की बजाय ज्यादा पैसा मिल सके, क्योंकि उनका व्यापार लेखा जोखा ध्यान में आएगा तो बैंक भी उनको ज्यादा पैसे देने के लिए तैयार होंगे. तो डिजिटल पेमेंट को भी इससे बल मिलेगा और उन लोगों को भी आने वाले समय में अतिरिक्त धन उपलब्ध कराया जा सकता है अपना कामकाज बढ़ाने के लिए. जैसे कल हमने एमएसएमई की केवल डेफिनेशन चेंज की, लेकिन उसका इतना बड़ा इंपैक्ट है कि लोग अपना कारोबार बढ़ा सकते हैं. यहां पर भी डिजिटल पेमेंट से इतना बड़ा बल मिल सकता है कि लोगों को आने वाले समय में कर्ज ज्यादा मिल सकता है और अपना व्यापार बढ़ा सकते हैं. ऐसे लगभग 50 लाख सड़कों पर, रेडी पर, फड़ी पर काम करने वाले, ठेले पर बेचने वाले लोगों को, घरों में काम करने वाले लोगों को लाभ मिलेगा. और 5,000 करोड़ रुपए की सुविधा केवल ये श्रमिक, हमारे पटरी पर काम करने वाले ठेले और रेडी वालों के लिए किसी ने की है तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने इसमें दी है.
I move to the next, which is generation of, we've gone to the housing.
ये कर दिया हमने.
There is a program, that's fine. We wish to give the middle income group, and that too the lowest strata of the middle income group, who get only 6 lakhs to 18 lakhs annual income. So they are probably above poverty line, all right, and slightly over that, but clearly the middle class, the lowest rung of middle class, who are up to 6 to 18 lakhs only annual income. For them there is a credit linked subsidy scheme which was introduced by Government of India in May 2017. This was operationalized from 17, but it was extended only up to 31st March 2020. This scheme benefits a lot of people who want to have simple, affordable houses. So this scheme, which is credit-linked subsidy scheme, is being extended up to March 2021. Government will extend this scheme, and we think over and above over 3.3 lakh crores of 3.3 lakh families which benefited till now, 3.3 lakh families which benefited till now will now additionally have another 2.5 lakh middle income families which will join in by this 1 year extension that we are offering. That scheme, which started in 2017, was to end in March 2020. We are extending it by 1 more year till March 2021, and we think in this 1 year another 2.5 lakh people will benefit from this so that they can have affordable houses for themselves under this particular scheme, credit-linked subsidy scheme. By doing this, we think we'll immediately be able to spur jobs creation. Immediately the demand for steel, cement and also transportation, heavy-duty transportation will all improve. And construction materials will also come to be demanded. And therefore, this will have immediate impact on the demand side of the
हाउसिंग सेक्टर को बढ़ावा देने के लिए जो मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप है, जिनकी आय 6 लाख से 18 लाख तक की है, उनके लिए 70,000 करोड़ का बढ़ावा देने वाली ऐसी योजना हम लेकर आए हैं, जिससे 6 लाख से 18 लाख की आय वालों को हाउसिंग सेक्टर में लाभ मिलेगा। ये 70,000 करोड़ का बढ़ावा देने वाली योजना है, जो क्रेडिट लिंक सब्सिडी स्कीम जो 31 मार्च 2020 तक हमने एक्सटेंड की थी, जिसका लाभ 3.3 यानी कि 3,30,000 के लगभग मध्यम वर्ग के परिवारों को हुआ था। अब इस योजना को 31 मार्च 2021 तक बढ़ा दिया गया है और इससे लगभग 2.5 लाख से ज़्यादा मध्यम वर्ग के परिवारों को लाभ मिलेगा और 70,000 करोड़ रुपए का इसमें कुल मिलाकर इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगी, जिससे स्टील, सीमेंट ऐसे मटेरियल से जुड़े हुए, आपके रियल एस्टेट से जुड़े हुए, हाउसिंग से जुड़े हुए सेक्टर्स को भी बढ़ावा मिलेगा। तो लाखों लोगों को मजदूरी के अवसर भी मिलेंगे, तो मजदूरों को भी लाभ मिलेगा और इन सेक्टर्स को लाभ भी मिलेगा और गरीब के ऊपर वाली श्रेणी जो है मध्यम वर्ग की, उसको घरों का लाभ भी मिल पाएगा।
I go over to talking about employment creation. Here we are talking about the Campa funds, about which all of us know. We are not creating a new scheme or anything, but these Campa funds, which have been lying in various states, have now been given a push. 6,000 crore rupees worth projects have already come, proposals have come from states. They are getting approved in the next 10 days. What it shall do for tribals and Adivasis, it will generate employment, because this 6,000 crores proposals which have come from the various states speak of employing people, particularly the tribal and the Adivasi people, for afforestation and plantation related works, for artificial regeneration and also for assisted natural regeneration, and forest management, forest protection, forest wildlife related infrastructure development, wildlife protection and management, and so on. So this is something which the states have actively come forward with proposals which are only about 6,000 crores now, but we have understood from them many more such proposals are waited, and that shall immediately create a lot of jobs. Considering that monsoon is fast approaching, this is the time when all these Vriksharopan and other things happen, and therefore this scheme is given a special push so that the tribals and Adivasis will have some money in their hands by joining in these work. Somewhat to an extent, some states also want to extend it to semi-urban areas and utilize this fund. That is something which the central government and the environment ministry will take care of addressing it. So semi-urban and partly fringes of urban areas, if they want to use it, it's up to the states and the environment ministry. But largely, This is going to generate employment for the tribals and Adivasis, for forestry related work and forest infrastructure related work, 6,000 crore to start with.
रोजगार के और अवसर पैदा हों और विशेष तौर पर आदिवासी इलाकों में, ट्राइबल एरियाज में हो, ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में हो, तो 6,000 करोड़ के कैंपा फंड्स का सदुपयोग और रोजगार के अवसर पैदा करने के लिए किया जाएगा, जिसमें वृक्षारोपण हो, वनीकरण हो। इस तरह से उस योजनाओं का लाभ आप अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में उठा सकते हैं, विशेष तौर पर ट्राइबल एरियाज में, आदिवासी क्षेत्रों में, और इसके अलावा चाहे शहरी अर्ध शहरी क्षेत्र हो, ग्रामीण क्षेत्र हो, यहां पर भी आप इन योजनाओं को ला सकते हैं।
The last two for today relate to farmers. We are providing a 30,000 crore, actually a 30,000 crore additional emergency working capital fund through the NABARD. And this is essentially a refinance support which the NABARD gives. You may ask me if it is something which is new. NABARD does this already. Yes, it does. 90,000 crore is annually the average they spend on this. We are now putting an additional 30,000 crore. This additional 30,000 crore will be immediately released so that the post-harvest Rabi work which is going on. Rabi, almost all the states have reported their harvests are over. Many states have successfully even close to completing the procurement of produce. This also happened in many states. But immediately post-harvest, if there are any requirements for post-harvest Rabi related work, this money will go and help the farmers, the small and the marginal farmers. This is for particularly small and marginal farmers. And not only post-harvest Rabi, but also the preparatory work for Kharif. Even for that, this will be of help. The regional rural banks and the rural cooperative banks will be the ones which will use this credit. Many of the state cooperative banks, about 33 state cooperative banks, 351 district cooperative banks, and 43 regional rural banks have also come forward to avail of this on-tap based lending. So it will be directly reaching rural India, directly reaching small and marginal farmers, and this is 30,000 crore in addition to what they normally do, which is 90,000 crore. This will benefit 3 crore farmers.
जहां पहले केंद्र सरकार ने राज्यों को फसल की खरीद के लिए पैसा दिया, जिसकी जानकारी हमने पहले दी, उसके अलावा अगर कहा जाए तो कृषि के सीजन में किसानों ने बहुत मेहनत की और बहुत सफलता के साथ अच्छा उत्पादन भी किया और कोई नुकसान कृषि के क्षेत्र में नहीं होने दिया, ऐसा प्रयास किए गए। लेकिन हमारे छोटे और सीमांत किसान जो हैं, उनको लाभ देने के लिए ऐसे 3 करोड़ छोटे और सीमांत किसानों के लिए 30,000 करोड़ रुपए की अतिरिक्त सुविधा नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार लेकर आई है। और ये 30,000 करोड़ 90,000 करोड़ जो नाबार्ड देता है उसके अतिरिक्त है, और ये सारा पैसा स्टेट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक, रीजनल रूरल बैंक, इनके माध्यम से राज्यों को दिया जाएगा और इसका वितरण वहां पर किया जाएगा ताकि छोटे और सीमांत किसानों को इसका लाभ मिल सके।
The last that I would want to tell you is absolutely critical because it brings a newer dimension to some of the things which have been happening. I am referring to the Kisan Credit Card. Nearly 2 lakh crores of concessional credit will be extended to boost the farming activities. 2.5 crore farmers will get the benefit, and this special drive will include these 2.5 crore farmers who don't have at the moment the Kisan Credit Card, because a rough estimate is if there were 9 crores of PM Kisan Samman award receivers, of that about 2.5 crore farmers do not have Kisan Credit Card. Now we are reaching them and giving them the Kisan Credit Card. But more importantly, something which the Honorable Prime Minister has been referring to, he has referred to in 3 of his speeches, that fishermen and animal husbandry farmers also shall be included in the Kisan credit cards. And therefore, they will also be able to avail of this concessional credit boost that we are giving to the extent of 2 lakh crores. This will enable all the farmers to gain access to institutional credit at concessional rate. 2.5 crore is the farmer number that I've given you, who will be covered. And in this, I'm not giving a specific number, but animal husbandry and Matsyakar will all be added. Fishermen will also be added.
जहां एक और कई योजनाएं पीएम किसान, जहां 6,000 रुपया करोड़ों किसानों के खाते में जाता है, या सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड हो, बाकी योजनाएं मोदी जी ने चलाई, वहीं पर अब एक 2 लाख करोड़ रुपए की सुविधा कंसेशनल क्रेडिट को बढ़ावा देते हुए ये 2.5 करोड़ जो किसान हैं उनको इसका लाभ मिलेगा। ये किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड के माध्यम से मिलेगा। एक विशेष अभियान इसके लिए चलाया जाएगा और इसके माध्यम से रियायती दर पर ऋण इनके लिए उपलब्ध होगा और लगभग, जैसा मैंने कहा कि 2.5 करोड़ किसानों को 2 लाख करोड़ रुपए की सुविधा मिलेगी। और इसमें किसानों के साथ साथ मछुआरों को, पशुपालकों को, इनको भी इसमें लाभ मिलेगा और इससे उनके आय के साधन भी बढ़ेंगे।
Today's presentation is for the second tranche is now over. I just want to highlight the fact that in these days of part of full lockdown, media, all of you all have been keen. You've been attending all our press conferences, hearing the Prime Minister. You've really been a catalyst in the stimulus giving exercise. So I thank all of you all, which the Honorable MOS did mention even at the start. We certainly look forward to having you pass all this information, disseminate this information, spread this information so that people get to know what this government is doing. So even as we are looking at COVID as an opportunity, not look at COVID as, oh my God, my economy. No, yes, there are people suffering. Yes, we notice a lot of people undergoing severe, constraints. They are walking back to their homes. Prime Minister had requested, please stay wherever you are. But nevertheless, emotions being what they are and their concerns being what they are, we understand migrants moving. We will have to extend all benefits, and that's what we are trying to do. And therefore, in this entire COVID-related response, I thank the media for constantly keeping every concern heard both ways. From the citizen to the government, and from the government, the stimuluses and other things that we want to do to the people back. So thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.